Hey there everybody, mixing it up with a little bit of a trailside chat. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing some ridiculous rides with a ton of climbing, both on pavement and on gravel. And it got me really thinking about this question of how many speeds do you actually need? I think it's sort of inevitable. One of the big trends we'll see is kind of an arms race in the number of speeds in the rear cassette. Currently, SRAM and Shimano are at 12, Campy is at 13. It's only a matter of time before SRAM and Shimano go 13 and Campy goes 14, and you get it. You guys know me, I'm a little bit of a curmudgeon when it comes to bike gear, and this is something I like to question. Do we really need more speeds, or is it just marketing hype for the bike industry to sell us more stuff? I'm a bit of a skeptic. Before I go on, I should probably point out that this is all personal preference. If you're a fixie fool like our friend Zach Gallardo, then you're probably like, well, one speed is enough. But if you do like your bikes multi-geared, it is a reasonable question to ask, how many speeds do we actually need? Again, everybody is different, and this is my opinion. If you've ever found yourself climbing up a hill and wanting just one more gear, or maybe you're going down a descent really gunning it and wish you had a harder gear, you might be thinking more speeds, more better. But I would posit that what you actually want is greater range. Not more speeds, but a wider range gearing, either on the low end or on the top end. And for the most part, the industry trend of more speeds doesn't really address this question. More speeds give you more granularity, but it doesn't necessarily expand the range of gears. It doesn't give you lower gears, it doesn't give you higher gears. It just breaks up the pre-existing gears into smaller bite-sized pieces. I like to use the analogy of pizza. Imagine your gear range as a big slice of pizza. I think what you really want is more pizza, right? A larger pizza pie. But instead, what we get with more speeds is the same amount of pizza just divvied up into smaller pieces. Granted, there are times when this is totally desirable. If you're very particular about your cadence, your knees like a particular cadence, then the more speeds makes it easier to achieve that. In the same token, if you're trying to ride a certain heart rate or wattage, more granularity in the gears makes it easier to achieve. But if you're like me and you just want, lower gears and reasonable road gears, the number of speeds isn't really helpful. What you want is more range, bigger piece of pizza. In my opinion, I think the component brand should focus on increasing range and not worry so much about the number of gears. Just like in the camera world, where there was an arms race for who had the most megapixels. After a while, the conversation switched from just the sheer quantity of megapixels to the quality and size of each megapixel. As you may or may not know, if you're shooting low light, you don't actually want more megapixels. You want fewer megapixels, but have those megapixels be bigger. In the same token, if you're bike touring, you don't necessarily want more gears. You actually want a lower range. Some of you guys may be aware of our past where we toured on Brompton, which actually only had 6 individual gears, but it had the same range as a compact road double. Yes, there were times when I wish I could spin a little bit more. For the most part, it had enough low end to get us up and over some pretty steep climbs. On this trip in California, this bike actually only has 10 speed, but it has a really wide range. It's 11 to 48 in the back and a 36 tooth in the front. I give up some top end, but it gives me lots of low end for all these kind of 14% dirt grades that we've been riding the last couple of weeks. So if you're thinking about updating your drivetrain to the latest and greatest, don't make your decision just on the sheer number of gears, but really think about the range. Are you gonna be doing lots of loaded touring or climbing in the steeps? And base your purchasing decision on that criteria rather than just sheer number of gears. Quick note, we just moved our web store. We've got a small amount of product that we're carrying with us in the minivan, mostly stickers, stem caps, and patches. So if you want to support the channel, if you like vids like this, check out the brand new store link below. And as always, keep the supple side down.